There's a lot of like F-grade beef and more than there should be in my diet, and I would be happy to replace it with this F-grade plant product.
I'm just saying there's some really good mushroom burgers out there. Sometimes the hottest companies in the world are rideshare businesses. Sometimes the hottest companies in the world are scooter share businesses. Today, the hottest companies in the world are in the burger business. Not beef-based burgers, plant-based protein burgers. The two main companies driving this thread are Beyond Meat and Impossible Foods, two buzzy, California-based companies that brought their plant-based patties to mainstream consumers in 2016. This year, other companies like Tyson Foods, Nestle, and Purdue have announced their own versions of plant-based proteins. So has the New Jersey-based Dr.Preagers, which has sold its California veggie burgers for 25 years. These companies are all fighting for market shares in an industry estimated to be worth $140 billion within 10 years. I joined two of my colleagues at Inc. at an apartment in New York City to taste a Beyond Burger, an Impossible Burger, and a Dr. Preagers burger to determine which faux burger reigns supreme.
I've been vegetarian for about 2 to 3 years now. I do not eat meat at all.
I'm a pretty strong meat eater, I would say.
I'm not a fucking vegetarian, okay? I'm tasting kind of a weird cardboardy thing here.
No, I haven't had meat in a really long time, but to me, this has the texture of meat, like close, like pretty close. It's not gross, like I just feel it's a little weird.
It does have a strong like meat texture. I feel like when it's this weird, it's almost like a ghost of meat, because it's like when it's almost like when it starts to dissolve on your tongue, it like dissolves in a different way. It's good though. It's, you know, most of the way there.
I'm getting like this aftertaste that I really can't characterize, but I do know that I would prefer if it was not in my mouth right now. The texture, like the coloring looks, I don't know, kind of vaguely convincing. And I don't know, like there's just like this thing in my mouth right now. It's kind of, I might be tasting this for the rest of my life.
It's not like oily, but it sort of like coats, you know what I mean? Like coats your mouth a little bit.
I would be happy if I never bit into something like this again for the rest of my life.
The texture is too close to meat for me personally. Like that's not, it's not something that I would like choose to eat. I think it freaks me out a little bit.
For all the reasons that it freaks Britt out are the reasons I would eat it again.
I mean, I am coming out of a different place than these guys are because I haven't had meat in so long. So like, I feel like something like this would be like a substitute for someone that does eat meat, as opposed to someone for me, like me, who just doesn't want the texture at all in general.
This looks weird, so that's just putting that out there, okay?
That's food.
I don't like it.
I'm not sure I agree with Nick when he said it was food. This there's this sort of very distracting note of sweetness going on. Plus, it just looks really unfortunate. It looks like something that was extruded. It's stuff. Nick said it was food. I would say it's more like stuff.
The first one had more flavor to it, whether you like it or not. I feel like it had a flavor. This one's just kind of this like bland sort of, yeah, like pudding thing that I feel like doesn't really have any flavor to it at all.
Yeah, it's like it feels much less like it can like lay claim that it's a meat substitute. But it's almost like there's a casing around just like this like congealed fluid, but like just in terms of like the actual like texture of it, I think it's not anywhere. It's not really that close.
I will say this burger really made me appreciate the first one. It's really red like a hot dog, but the texture is odd. It's just very upsetting. This is kind of like the shitty hot dog of the fake meat burgers.
It freaks me out. It's because you don't know what's in it, where it's not trying to be meat, but also it's not a veggie burger where you can tell like this is carrots and quinoa. Like I have no idea what this is.
Oh man, What is going on here?
Can you agree with me that this one is a little bit more rubbery?
Yes,
It
exactly.
has this like rubbery texture to it, where when you pull it apart, it's almost like
wants to
elastic.
stay together,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like elastic.
I like it. I think it's solid. It is a little rubbery, like a little elasticy, but I think of the three, that's kind of like the spirit you want is like the backyard 4th of July grill burger. And I think this one was the one that came the closest to tasting like that for me.
It's just not, it's not good. It is, I guess I understand the novelty here, but like, it's just not, like, I know I want many things for the world. I want there to be peace. I want us to like be good to each other, but like, I don't understand why it's such a thing where veggie burgers have to be fake meat burgers. Why can't they just be veggie burgers? Like, yeah, I mean, they were doing a very good job of that.
I think if you dress it up, if you were to give it some lettuce, some tomatoes, some condiments, maybe, you know, cook it in a certain way, like maybe this would convince meat eaters to eat it. I don't think it's for the vegetarian community. I think there are a lot of other better options out there that don't just taste better but have more flavor to them.
Overall, I do think it's really interesting. I think John comes at this from like having eaten, I have too, like eaten a lot of like really good burgers.
Actual food.
Well, I think you're a person who just like doesn't eat burgers. And I'm a person who, and the reason I enjoy these so much, I think, is because I'm a person who eats like a lot of really crappy fast food burgers. And like, that's really just the bar that they have to meet, like to be successful, I think. Because like if they can replace like a generic fast food McDonald's patty or whatever, which is like F-grade meat as it is, like there's a pretty significant market there.
Nick brings up an interesting point. If you were to take a McDonald's burger and deconstruct it and try to eat the beef, it tastes like nothing, which is kind of the genius of it. And then it's like, then that burger is, you know, a Big Mac is a vehicle for everything else coming together. And in a junky way, it's kind of good. I don't have a favorite burger, but you know, in the choice between having my head chopped off, like dying slowly in a vat of acid, or bleeding to death, I guess I'm gonna go with burger number one.
I would say burger number one, even though it, to me, resembles the most meat-like texture. It looks the most like meat, and it kind of acts the most like meat. But I thought that flavor-wise, it was the best out of all three of them. And by best, I mean like still not good, but also, you know, not gross.
Honestly, 1 and 3 were very close for me, like almost even. I think I would give the edge to number 3, just because, like I said, it's got kind of a grill or char flavor for me that jumped out as, and yeah, I give the edge to number 3.
Can I guess?
Yeah, I think I
Okay.
already know.
I don't know, this is impossible.
Number 1 is Impossible, number 2 is Praeger,
Praeger's,
number 3 is
number
Beyond Meat.
Yeah.
Okay.
You bastards!
Victory is ours.